Today really was just a work day. I finished up my Theory of Knowledge. Theory of Knowledge. The I for okay, gosh. Start this again. So the IB program is a thing I do, and they have two essays primarily, like IB program specific. So that's the extended essay. Got that done. We had the whole thing, and then there's the TOK essay. Finished that up. Really, really nice. And the essay basically explored two areas of knowledge. My two were natural sciences and history. Had a lot of fun. My the prompt I tackled was, what was it? Do we underestimate the challenges of transferring knowledge from its original context to another context? And that was really fun. For the natural sciences, I apologize if this is interesting, but for natural sciences, I more so delved in using equations. So I went from Isaac Newton's equation to um, about Einstein's general relativity equation. I talked about like the context and how Isaac Newton wasn't really wrong. It's just that his thing didn't work in certain extreme measures, and even Isaac Newton stuff doesn't work in singularities. But yeah, that was my natural science thing. Now for history, I talked about the My Lai massacre and how I forgot his. I think it was Billy Graham, how he tackled it. Really interesting stuff. I even talked about the Black Panthers for a bit, so it was a really interesting essay. But yeah, that was just like the good portion of the morning bit, and then after that, I just wrapped up some French things. French program was really nice, and then from there, I started working on the ASA stuff. So just kind of getting our stuff ready for culture again, the food sorted out, the flags. Some of the flags have come. This was actually large issue because it had to get like it cost $100 to get all the flags we needed. So our secretary was really amazing with tackling that. But the flags are on the way, so some of them have made it here. They were meant to go to school, but there was an Amazon thing. Funny enough, so what we did, I just created a new Amazon account and used my credit card to subscribe to Prime for 30 days. So that's how our deliveries are coming faster and with less shipping prices. But yeah, gosh, I think I'm getting lost on what I was trying to say. And then from the whole from sorting out the ASA stuff, I moved to there was my friend's 18th birthday, which was really amazing. Went there, hung out with my friends for a bit, then came back home. And yeah, that was pretty much my day so far. I'm moving on to work on another essay I have to do with this for math. But the point I'm trying to get at is that's not really that interesting of a day. It was just more so like a very calm, chill day. Sorry, my light thing. This guy. I do feel often with Project Phillips. I was reflecting on it before I did this episode. Uh, I often feel this need to like scramble into this one box of an idea. Like, oh, for the last episode, I know it was like me talking about how I found reading as a new source, reading physical books as a new source for breaks, which I've touched on before. But often, right, the problem with those approaches to Project Phillips episodes is that the reason I scramble is because I feel pressured not to just talk about my day, like not to just talk about the work I did that day. And I feel like that's a conflict with Project Phillips and how I direct it, because Project Phillips is really meant to be a docu series of me just approaching different goals, right? However, it's not the intent's not just for me to talk about different stuff in life, like hobbies and stuff like that. So I'm trying to like still keep that balance. I've noticed I've swayed off a bit here and there. Even in terms of the goals, I feel like I focus so much on extracurriculars and I've left the other stuff to, like, not die per se, but like they get less sunlight, which I feel is not even, it's not, I can say unfair, but it's really my life. Like, I do want to do more of those stuff, so like game stuff, and then it's not really a summer program. I feel like the summer program is more so transformed into more mentorship stuff. So I'm pulling tuning to like different mentorship stuff here and there. But yeah, I feel like those have gotten much less light. And I guess the reason for that is because I'm buried, not buried isn't the right word. I'm constantly involved in schoolwork, right? So it's harder to like take a step back and say, "Oh, let me work on the game" when you have a paper due tomorrow. But I think that's just the nature. I do think it's where this has happened before, but we're entering one of those chill periods. I think it'll be about next week, where the work is a bit less steep per se, not steep, but like a bit less difficult. It's less difficult essentially, and I do think I can take a step back and say, okay, let me edit some stuff for the final episode, or like let me finish some scripts here and there. Let me work on the game. Let me plan out some mentorship stuff, which I think is amazing. The only problem with that free period or calm period is that calm period is more so meant to be for the IB program, because how the IB program works is that there's internal deadlines, and internal deadlines are for the internal assessments. Internal assessments are basically stuff the classes like math or digital society, they have projects that you do, right? And the teachers in review give you some commentary before they submit to the actual IB program, which gives you a proper final grade. So yeah, so that compare is really more so taking to work on those comments and then take them in and use them to actually improve your work. Okay, that was a bit of a blabber fest, but that's the thing. So I'm going to try and schedule that out to where I can do a lot of work on the returned work I've done, where and also get work done for the Phillips project. So on the game, the Phillips project. When I say Phillips project, that just means different projects I'm doing. It's like an umbrella term. So the game and some mentorship stuff. But yeah, after this, I'm gonna go work on some ASA decoration planning. Did a social media post asking for some artifacts and just art stuff for the poster board we're doing on Tuesday and Monday, and got some responses back, which was amazing. So I feel like one thing I can confidently say the ASA has done amazing this year is our social media game. I think that's been our most successful part. However, I do think we've had trouble organizing ourselves, and my theory personally is that with different clubs, right, there's a common interest. Like let's say you're in a chess club, everyone loves chess there, right? Or let's say you're in Mod UN, everyone loves Mod UN. They want to get better, they want to do this. Whereas with the culture clubs, you have the issue where it's like, not to say people aren't interested, but it's more so an aspect of their identity, right? So you could argue, oh, maybe that'll make them more invested, or that'll make them less invested. So I really do think that's something I'm trying to figure out to try and get more engagement. One thing I am doing is I'm reshaping the structure of how the whole ASA leadership works. So I'm going to make it more into department committee stuff, where instead of having one social media person, we have a social media department who just like works solely on social media stuff, and you can have a head. And I feel like that's going to work better in the sense that no one person can get too stressed out, essentially, right? And even like worst case in their head, the way I imagine it, if you have a department that's not doing the job and one person has to pick up the scrap, right? I think that'd be more productive than if you had like a team of 5 people and then one person didn't feel the need to be as productive because of the other 4 people. Whereas if the one person is the head of that department, they feel more responsible and they feel the need to do more. But yeah, I also have to figure out how I'm going to choose the things. So maybe some applications, or maybe like I just assign people to stuff. But I want to do a transition. I think I already talked about this last episode. But I want to do a transition episode, a transition period before I leave the school so they can be prepared. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I have to go to school early on Monday to get this decoration stuff sorted out. So, yeah, not too crazy. I hope it turns out really good. Making some jello fresh. I'm hoping some people make sobo. I'm not gonna delve into that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm up to today. So yeah, have a great day, an amazing Sunday, and an amazing Sunday. I can't really speak to it, but yeah, have a great day.